was more pressure on us, I think, than anything I've ever experienced, because it is her seminal work. If we didn't do right by her, I don't think you walk away from it. I mean, I think it really would be traumatic for us. We talk forever about the story, you know. I mean, we just talk forever. You know, I think a period of months, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, where she comes in, and it's pleasant because it's not hurried or anything, and it's not, and we just, like for this picture, I think the first act was tough, and that's how the mother character started to have her own story, and somewhere in there. Then she delivered a first draft, and then you talk about, you know, and then the second draft, I think, had a lot of changes. Mm-hmm. And you just embrace the process, you know, and it's just an open conversation. It's a conversation. It's not change this, or it's like the movie's The Boss. We both work for the movie at that stage. The spirit of the set was extraordinary. She was Mary Poppins for these kids, I think. And she was Mary Poppins who accepted them as young adults and accepted them as collaborators. I mean, I think Elle's performance, the Nancy, is you know, I think
she's amazing.
I think the two lead kids we're going to see forever, you know.
Unbelievable. I looked up their ages, and they are that age.
Yeah,
they're very good.
I mean, I think also just Kelly, very much just like the book has done for 50 years, wanted that, and amazingly we still need that. We don't talk about puberty, we don't talk about women's issues like that, and I think that's, at least my experience after screening, people are talking about when they got their period. I mean, it's starting a conversation that is just a natural thing that people seem to still think is taboo. So
it's banning it, you know,
banning
Florida.
it, yeah.
What I try and do, and I think what Kelly certainly does, is you make the set for the actors, that we're all there for the actors, that you can do that as a director. You can just make that the deal in every respect, and I think it's proper. I think that's where the focus should be. I mean, obviously there are certain kinds of movies where the shots are as important as the actors, and you know, and there's big. I'm not talking about that, you know, but I'm talking about anything that depends on performance. Consciously, after the fact, I count how many characters there are. You know, I don't even think about the number. And then at some point late in the deal, I think about the number. And there's something wonderful in the notion of a company, of a cast, especially in television, where if you hit it, you know, you're together for years. I mean, there's been shows where people got married, get divorced, have children. Everybody knows it. And it's a really peculiar work intimacy that goes on. And it's very tough if somebody's not a good human being in the mix. I mean, but, you know, Ron Howard, you know, I'm sure he still does it, makes phone calls when he's thinking of casting to people who've worked with whoever he's considering, whether they're a good person. And I used to deride it because I say you put up with a monster if you finally get something great on the screen, but I see the wisdom of it too. In terms of having a company, and especially a star, because if a star acts like a star, you have no chance for a company, you know. So I think it's a very important element.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's ever changing. I mean, obviously you go, in my career, there were spec scripts for a long time, and that doesn't happen anymore. I mean, now it's packaging, and you know, and then you have streaming, and then, you know, it just feels like things are always going to change, but you're not. You know, your vision isn't. And it's just constantly creating what you can create, and then you'll figure it out. I mean, because next year could be different from the year after, but your story is your story, and you'll find somewhere to take it, somehow.
I have a very romantic image that I think about a lot, when everything seemed particularly crappy about everything in the business. I know that there are scattered throughout this town people at that moment, where something great is happening someplace in town at that moment.
Yeah.